Now, remember those Haas videos that I uploaded to the YouTube channel? In case you missed them, Haas is a Taiwanese Protoss player who recently made it to the grand finals of a premier tournament, playing a playstyle that nobody really plays. He plays very aggressive, he plays extremely cheesy, and today we're gonna try and see if I can pull that off as well. Now, I have to warn you in advance, I don't really know exactly what the playstyle is that Haas plays or what build order he follows. I've got a vague understanding of it, I suppose, but I do know that he plays very, very aggressive and that I plan on doing something along those lines as well. So here's the thing, of course, right? Usually, cannon rushes are pretty popular, but at the highest level of play, they get warded off rather easily. However, Haas, he doesn't just cannon rush, he follows it up with stalkers and eventually immortals and then a war prism as well. And the amount of damage that you can do with it is absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see how this goes, okay? Once again, I don't really know exactly how I'm supposed to play this. I think I'm gonna try and just simply send the probe straight towards the other side. Do I go for a second probe as well? I don't know. I'm just sort of guessing. If he goes for a hatchery first, I do think I want to cannon rush from this position over here. I should be able to see the hatchery go up right around this time, I think, is when we should expect that one to go down. Doesn't look like it's the case for now. So if that's what's going on, I think I'm just gonna set up right over here instead. Which is kind of awkward and kind of one of the things that you normally wouldn't expect. But you can still do a lot of damage, even when your opponent isn't playing your quote-unquote standard build. Obviously, he is going to be able to get himself photon cannons, or rather, Zerglings out a little bit quicker. Because no matter what, this is always an indication that he's going to be in a decent spot to continue harassment. We're just simply going to push right from this area, and now we're going to put a gateway down over here too. I feel disgusting already, and we're barely getting started. Now, Zerglings should be coming out in just a little bit. It's a little bit worrisome, not going to lie. But, yeah, no, there's no way, right? There is no way. Alright, so let's do a little bit of scouting then. I'm gonna go ahead and get a single gas over here, because I do think I want to grab that. We do want to put our Cybercore up here in just a little bit as well. He has almost... Oh, he actually already has a lot of gas coming up. I actually think that stealing gas is still one of the more helpful options. Either way, we're gonna be able to continue onwards with this for a little while longer. I'll actually cancel... Well, actually, no. We'll just leave that on up for now. I don't really need to worry too much about it. I want to make sure, though, that I put up a shield battery inside of my base. Or rather, a Cybercore, and then... shortly, we can start building shield batteries as well. Zerglings haven't snuck by yet. The fact that he's got a double gas, though, is a big indication that he does plan on following this up pretty aggressively as well. I want to put up, like, one pylon over there, I think. Just in case of, like, a, you know, like a Nidus worm or something along those lines. We really don't want to take any critical damage from that. We want to put down a shield battery here very soon as well. I think that's right around the same time as I built my robotics facility. I think Robo is going to be more important. I could go ahead and put like one... There we go. Oh, well, it doesn't really fit over there. I could go ahead and put up like one photon cannon here. But he hasn't snuck any Zerglings by, and I don't think he's got any other, you know, real units out on the map. Is this a full wall? Oh, no, it's not. All right. So we're going to go ahead and scout around here with this one probe probe, and we'll see what's going on. This is definitely going to be something aggressive, by the way, from my opponent. There's no denying in that. Let's go ahead and put up some shield batteries. Actually, I'm kind of worried that my units might get stuck. Right? I need to get my immortals out ASAP. He might just be using the double gas for this, though. There we go. Let's go ahead and get an immortal as soon as possible. Go, go, go. I meant to chrono boost out a stalker there, but I couldn't really properly afford it. I need this immortal ASAP. I kind of needed it a couple of minutes ago. Doesn't look like he really has anything scary in the background anymore, so that's cool. Whew, nicely done by him, actually. Obviously, we are still facing, by the way, master level opponents, right? Which means that these are definitely still strong players. I gotta be careful that I continue making immortals, though. Alright, that's the one thing that I really need to make sure that I get. Okay. The more shield batteries, the easier this becomes. Got another shield battery, now just about to finish up. And as a follow-up here, I want to go for a Warp Prism. Now, do I have enough? I think I actually get way too much gas income. You could probably afford this off of like a very small amount of gas. Okay. There we go. Gotta back up. Warp Prism is now coming up, so that's when we can start the juggling. Guys, this is kind of gross. I've had a probe scout around the entire map. Haven't found any additional bases. I don't think he has any. And if he doesn't have any, we are in a really nice spot. Okay, we can almost begin the juggling. I'm not a particularly great juggler, okay, so bear with me. All right. Gotta be careful here, Lowko. Keep healing up those weakened units. And we're gonna slowly push forward. Now, the more immortals we get, the harder this is gonna be for my opponent to justify. I don't think he really has any resources right now to start teching up or anything along those lines, so we're definitely not in a terrible spot as far as that goes. But I have to be on point, though, with my control, right? I can't really mess that up. Alright, here we go. Okay, so far so good. Keeping a lot of these units alive. I basically just want them to continuously hit stuff, right? Oh my god. This is so dirty. Alright, so warp gates need to be started up. I'm pretty late with that, not gonna lie. The thing is, as long as my juggling is on point, right, I can really do a lot of damage. It's mostly the immortals that I'm worried about. So everything else is like a bonus. There's another immortal coming up. Got 4 of them now. I should probably make like another gateway or 2. Can I go ahead and maybe like make another gateway over here as well? Okay, that's 5 immortals. Still haven't lost any. Wonder if I should maybe get an observer. Oh. Yeah, that was a mistake actually. You saw that? That was a pretty grave error there. Now, I'm still not in a bad spot, though. That was me overextending, if anything. Like, I definitely wanted to push there a little bit slower. But if I really want to, I can just expand off of this. Right? Then I'm still gonna have a lot of units. Well, that was not ideal, though. I don't wanna, like, make that sound any better than it was, because it really wasn't great. But I do have still about, 4 gateways finishing up now. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get an observer after this as well. I do think that might be very helpful. Now, obviously, my bases will start running low. Does he still plan on actually doing anything? I think so. I basically have to dodge those biles, right? Once the biles are gone, we're in a great spot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Gateways are finishing. We can warp in some other units here as well. This is disgusting, guys. All right. Decent juggling so far. But so much value out of such a small army, right? These shield batteries are providing such a massive area to back up into. And I haven't even really been producing here for a long time already. Okay. If I practice this more, though, I really feel like I could do so much more. Considering how many units I've still lost already as well in this game, right? Oh my god. Can't believe this is working as well as it is, considering I'm not good at doing this. Alright. That's one Mutalisk, guys. I think the greatest counter to this is Swarm Host. That's the one thing I've been doing myself whenever I face this from my Protoss player, but there's no denying that, War Prisms, man. If you get those shut down, everything is fine. But if you don't, I guess you just sort of, you know, if you let the War Prism live, right, I guess you just sort of die. That was so dirty. As a Zerg player by heart, I didn't even execute that very well. I could do it so much better. I ended up winning that game pretty convincingly. Alrighty, so now that we've done a decent job at copying this playstyle from Haas, let's figure out how he actually does it. So this is a game that he played recently against Cerro in the WCS Valencia Grand Finals. I believe it's actually Cerro who is the one who ends up winning this game. Haas's micro is not as good as he is microing in some of the other matches. But anyways, it should give us a decent idea on how to actually properly execute this at a high level. So the first thing to note, right, is that Haas does not actually rush out like a 12 pylon and a super quick forge here either. Instead, he just simply goes for the gateway right here and then the forge is a follow-up. I guess the reason for that is that right now, right, with that probe scout, he confirms that there is a expansion on the low ground for Zerg, and that is when he decides to go for this build. He already was preparing, as you can see with this little probey probe, to go for a Nexus on the low ground. So this could have just been a very normal build from Haas, but instead, now that he knows, hey, wait a second, it's your hatchery, it's a hatchery first here, and not a hatchery at the third base, is what we saw actually from games that Haas played against Nurtrio, where Nurtrio basically didn't take the natural, but instead moved over to the third. Now that he knows he's okay to go for the build, that's when he decides to go for the forge. Okay, so that's a pretty major deviation already. Very responsive in a way, right? Very Zergy in a way. That also obviously means that your Cybercore is going to be quite a bit quicker, but he still goes for the Photon Cannon rush here on the other side of the map. Now he did build two cannons, or rather two pylons here immediately. I like that one a lot. Even manages to lock up those two drones. Really cute little move. And yeah, even though one of these photon cannons will be forced to get cancelled, there's no denying that Haas is going to be in a really good spot just simply killing this natural, and then he can follow it up with either an expansion. I mean, he could just still expand here on the low ground. That's always going to be a potential follow-up. Or he could go for the robotics facility on the other side of the map. Alright, so that's definitely a drastically different build order here. There's very little margin for error though, because if the hatchery finishes up and you get creep all over it, obviously you can't put down your photon cannons anymore, so you have to be really on point. But this does obviously still show that this is more than viable. There we go, shield battery on the other side of the map as well. That one will likely finish up here in just a little bit, and that Stalker should be able to get rid of most of these units. But already, right now, we see the Robo facility coming up, and it's going to start chrono boosting out Immortals. Now, I'm pretty sure Cerro wins this game. I'm pretty sure, actually, this first, if I recall correctly, I believe that this first Immortal gets surrounded on the ramp, which was just a little bit sloppy. Yeah, look. So the Immortal gets surrounded, and it's just barely out of range of the shield batteries. I think this must have been some nerfs right here for Haas as well. Playing against one of the greatest Zerg players in the grand finals of a premier tournament, obviously. That gets everyone just a little bit nervous. But you can see that his build order is drastically different, but the execution is going to be pretty similar. It's just that he pushes a little bit later, and that allows him to eventually get this Immortal group out a little bit quicker. Also, actually, another important thing to note is that he really does get these shield batteries really close to the ramp. I think that's one of the other mistakes that I made there. Getting these shield batteries this close to the ramp allows you to obviously be on the ramp and still, you know, get healed up by these shield batteries. You could go even to this little nuke and still be in a perfectly safe position. I do think, though, that's... Yeah, Cerro has got this one in the back, right? Just because the first couple of units died really easily. If there would have been a second Immortal out right now, or I guess then a third Immortal at this point, you would have been in a much better spot. And even then, Haas still gets so much value out of this. Actually, This could still be a game that that Serral loses. I don't know exactly how long it is. Yeah, so apparently it's like... It's four additional minutes here, so I do think that Serral is going to be in a decent spot. But there's no denying, though, if your juggling is on point, right, and you don't make any mistakes with your Immortal Micro, you can deal an awful lot of damage. Really fun playstyle to play. Now, I know a lot of people will think this is disgusting, and I kind of get where you're coming from. It is a pretty freaking dirty strategy, okay? It's very frustrating if you are a Zerg player trying to deal with 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism. Because on paper, you can deal so much damage. He didn't even need to kill that, right? He could have just, you know... Oh my god. He could have just simply picked up with the Warp Prism there and got some more value. Well, eventually the main base here will fall, but I think that Serral already made the correct call. Because in the meantime, on the other side of the map, all of the Zerglings killed all of those probes as well. Regardless, though, that was really fun. I think I'm going to practice that a little bit more. If you would like me to make an update video on how it is going, let me know down below in the comment section of the video. I am more than interested in making some more of this, even though it's a little dirty. It is exciting that new playstyles are still being developed in StarCraft 2, literally 8 years after the release. This is something that we really haven't seen very much at the highest level of play, and it's really cool to, you know, to just continuously learn new ways to play. But anyways, for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright, and I will see you once again in the next one.